Hi guys, to another episode of Dimitra's Dishes. Today we're making shrimp saganaki. This is the classic Greek recipe that is made with shrimp, a tomato sauce that has feta in it. What could be better than that? This is usually served as an appetizer in Greece. If you go to a fish place or any restaurant, really, this is going to be on the menu. You can serve it as an appetizer if you want, but I really like to serve it as a main course over pasta, rice, with some toasted bread, a salad. It is so hearty and delicious and full of flavor. You guys are gonna love it. Let's get started. But here I have a pound of shrimp. These are large or jumbo shrimp, about 21 to 25 per pound. They've been deveined, but the tail is still on. The shell has been taken off, and they've been deveined, like I said, but it's really nice for presentation to leave the tail on. You wanna make sure that you pat them really dry, so that way they get nice color on them. So I have a pan that's heating over medium-high heat. I like to start off with a pan that is oven or broiler safe because I do like to run the final dish under the broiler for a few minutes before it's served. You'll see what I mean when we get there. Put about 3-4 tablespoons of olive oil in the pan, and I should have seasoned the shrimp beforehand, but I'll just put them in and season them while they're in there. So I'm just gonna cook the shrimp about 30-40 seconds on each side, just until they get a little bit of color. They're not gonna be cooked through because they're gonna finish off cooking in the sauce. And I'm gonna do this in 2-3 batches because if you overcrowd the pan, they're gonna release water, and instead of getting color, they're not gonna have any color. They're just gonna steam. So while they're in here, I'm just gonna hit them with a little pinch of salt and some freshly cracked black pepper. And I'm gonna do the same thing to the other side once I flip them. But while I have these guys over here, I'm just gonna season them. And after just about a minute, you want to take them out of the pan and just put them in a plate. And I'm just going to continue sauteing these for a little while on each side, same thing, until all the shrimp are done. So the shrimp are all done. Make sure you take the pan off the heat because you don't want the oil to burn. And then I have half of an onion. This is a medium-sized onion. Since this is a small batch, I'm just gonna finely chop it, separate it, and then put the onion in the pan. Okay, so I'm just gonna season the onion with just a little pinch of salt. It helps them cook a little better, releases some of their water. And since the oil seems like it's just dried up, I'm gonna add about 2 tablespoons more of olive oil. I'm gonna let the onions cook over medium heat for about 7-8 minutes or until they're really nice and soft. The onions are soft and golden. Now it's time to add the garlic. I usually have grated garlic in my freezer, so I'm gonna put about a teaspoon of it. It's about 3 to 4 garlic cloves that are grated. I like when the garlic is grated and when it comes out of the container because it melts in the sauce. But if you like to see some garlic in your sauce, just finely chop it and cook it over low heat for about 2 to 3 minutes until it's soft. But if it's already grated, you just need a few seconds. Now, be careful because this is gonna bubble. It's time to add the tomatoes. Let me take this off the heat. This is a can, a 15-ounce can. It's either 15 or 16 ounces. Of tomatoes that I've pureed. There's no seasoning in this. I like to season my sauce to my liking. I'm gonna add a little pinch of sugar to cut the acidity. Oh boy, let me take it off the heat while I season it. I'm gonna season it with a little bit of salt, freshly cracked black pepper, and a pinch or 2. This is supposed to be slightly spicy, of crushed red pepper flakes. Mix it up, and I'm gonna put it back on the heat for about 5-6 minutes until it thickens. So I'm gonna cover the pan with a lid so that way there isn't splatter all over the place. And once the sauce is thickened, we're gonna move on to the next step. Okay, so once the sauce gets thick, just like this, you wanna go in and give it a taste at this point. Delicious. All it needs is a little bit of oregano. Adding oregano towards the end assures that it's not going to become bitter. So that's about a teaspoon of oregano. I'm also going to add, these are 4 scallions that I've thinly sliced. And then the shrimp is going to go back in. Give everything a little mix. Turn the heat off. And then this is when you add the feta, about 3-4 ounces of feta or however much you like. I like to break it off into chunks, not too crumbled. I don't like it too fine. And I like lots of it. I'm just going to take it off the heat now because I have my broiler set to high. I'm going to put this not too close to the broiler element because I don't want this to burn. I'm going to put this in there for about 4 or 5 minutes until the sauce starts to bubble even more in there and the cheese starts to melt and it gets a little charred on top. I'll show you what it looks like as soon as it comes out. So the shrimp saganaki is out of the oven. It took about 7 minutes to get enough color because I did have it not on the middle rack, but one above that, so it wasn't too close to the heating element. You can get it closer if you want for the last minute so you can get really nice color. Mine got enough, but if you leave it in there too long, the shrimp are gonna be overcooked and then they're gonna be kind of hard. I toasted some bread to serve with mine, and then I'm also boiling some pasta in the back. I'm making some fettuccine for the kids. Once it comes out of the oven, you can top it with some freshly chopped parsley. And then it's time to serve. A lemon wedge or 2, and that's all that you need. I'm going to take a little bite. I'm going to get some of the shrimp with the feta sauce. And as it sits, the sauce does tend to get a little bit thicker, so keep that in mind. Slightly spicy. I need some bread now with the feta. So comforting and delicious. Only thing that it's missing are some olives. I would definitely serve this alongside some olives. The exact measurements are going to be on the website, dimitrasdishes.com. You could head on over there to print the recipe. I hope you guys enjoy this one. You share it with friends and loved ones. And I'll be back here soon with another recipe worth sharing. Yes, Seth?